Yeah.
It's just full of
So
wonder.
sci-fi.
So I thought, well, the first recipe I'd try, it looked like, and of course your website, the app is great. So it said, well, mead is something that's good for beginners, only 2 ingredients,
Yeah.
plus the yeast.
Yeah. So your first batch is
The first
is
batch,
mead.
I did the mead, followed the directions, everything. I was obsessively checking my app, right? Just to see. And then I got excited because it originally said 8 days fermentation, and then suddenly it went down to like 3 days remaining.
Yeah.
So I thought, is something wrong? So I go to the website, and of course, or Facebook site, Facebook page, someone immediately says, no, it's just the machine is calibrating. And
Oh, yeah,
adjusts.
exactly.
So I thought, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the hardest part, I think, was waiting for everything to settle.
Oh, gotcha.
Fermentation slow in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, and of course I would
So
sneak a
choose
drink
the-
anyway.
I think like the fridge.
I used the fridge
method
method,
or-
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
It didn't have enough room in the freezer.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure exactly, and I'm sure you've already written about this, but how to decant it and put it into other containers safely.
Okay.
I wasn't sure about that, so I just left it in the pitcher.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
But I definitely have to.
Then what we recommended.
Yeah.
It'd be safer.
I think it's safer.
Yeah.
And I definitely have to buy another pitcher.
Oh,
I
cool.
just haven't done that yet, so I got to go. I think you.
You should let us know. Probably I could bring you one as a gift.
Well, that's very kind of you. But I think you have pictures now, right?
Yeah.
Additional pictures.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
onto your website.
Those are in stocks.
Yeah. And the only other thing I wanted to ask, I guess, is, okay, you guys also had included the 3 packets of yeast.
Yeah.
So I used the one that was recommended for me, and I have 2
Uh-huh.
left. But in general, that kind of yeast, we order it from you, or we could go to just a brewer supply
Yeah. Exactly.
place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're pretty open to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it should work. There's nothing special about.
Uh,
Because I know they
think
said
the
bread yeast
flavor
doesn't
might
work, right?
taste a little
Okay.
bit different because different yeast have different traits.
Okay.
Yeah. So they probably the only issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And all right. Well, it's just a lot of stuff to consider. And then we have a lot of. We had gotten a bunch of. My kids love dragon fruit juice, so we had gotten a lot of that at Costco.
Oh, cool.
So I was going to try that as well.
Yeah.
But I think tonight I will go home and
Try it out.
and try this one. So if I just do this, if I want to do something by myself, you still have to go in through the app though and find the right recipe, right?
Do you mean like create your own recipe?
You could create your own
Yeah,
recipe.
you can create your own
But this one's
recipe,
already in
or-
there.
Yeah, this
This
one's
is-
already in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you. Cool. You
But-
must be traveling around, right?
Yeah.
Travel a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of travel, but never seen anything. You probably hear from a lot of people. I had always been intrigued. People make their own wine, brew their own beer, do this, but technically it always seemed like, well, you have to buy so much equipment.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a large
We
learning
make it
curve.
so simple.
and I kept wondering, what? So you guys have to be you're like geniuses to come up with this.
No, you're nice.
But I mean, how fantastic! And all the time, I'm looking at this for days. I'm looking at the device, wondering what's going on in there. What's happening, right? But it's just great, and the app with the graphs.
Yeah, the chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're still trying to make it more like easier to use.
you obviously put a lot of thought and effort into making it very user friendly.
Yeah.
And easy to use, which is appreciated by people like me. Seriously, that just
Appreciate it.
don't have any brewing background, but we want to do something fun. And then I'm married. We got 3 kids.
We got 3. Wow,
yeah,
adorable.
Thank you. So, but my wife, she's not much of a drinker,
Uh-huh.
but she tasted it. She said, "This is fantastic."
Cool, right?
Just loved it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the next thing. Gonna get another pitcher, and then you'll be able to keep keep going.
Keep going.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
So let me just ask you, what were some of your main challenges
For
in your
now.
development? Or now, yeah.
Yeah. For now, I think the most challenging is financial part. Trying to find more funding to support us.
Okay.
Yeah. And in terms of the whole services, we do lots of user interview, trying to figure out how to make the user experience better.
Okay.
Because we are we create everything, so we kind of like stuck in our own mind. We think, okay, this should works.
Right.
But for some users, it may not.
Right.
Yeah.
Or where can we take it? What do you think about the user community that's developed? because I was very impressed. It seems a very tight knit.
Yeah, I think so far it's great.
Community.
Yeah. People are willing to share their inputs, roast and onions, and yeah.
Yeah.
I very appreciate all the users are so kind of involved in our community.
Well, I give you and your team a lot of credit for that because I think you sponsored that. You gave us the openness. And you and your team continuously engage, right?
Yeah.
And how many products are like that? Usually you buy something and that's it, right?
Yeah.
You might have a support, but it feels like almost like you guys are more family.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because you're so accessible.
That's why we want to create it.
Yeah. So I bet a lot of people, really respond to that.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. I'm happy to tell anybody about your product.
Thank you very much.
I'm a convert. My only regret is I didn't open it the first day and take it out and start brewing.
Yeah.
It was delayed too long, but.
Yeah. When did you open it?
Probably last month.
Last month?
Yeah, and then I went out and I just bought a bunch of honey.
Uh-huh.
And I thought this is going to be more complicated, and I'm looking at the app and thinking, am I missing the directions? Am I missing a step? What's going on? And it wasn't. It was very, as you said, you tried to make it very user friendly.
Yeah.
And you succeeded.
Yeah. Thank you.
So very,
Where
very
did you
happy.
get the honey?
At a local farmer's market.
A farmer's market?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I figured that would be good.
In California or?
Oh yeah, here in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Where do you stay? I mean, where do you live?
Oh, I live in Moraga,
Moraga,
which is just on the other side of Oakland.
Okay.
So if you go up Highway 24 that way, it's out there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I usually take BART.
Oh, you take BART to commute here to work.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's just, for the kids, it's nice to be out in the suburbs.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice environment,
exactly.
so.
Yeah, I want to show you. So, this ingredient packs is for this recipe.
Okay.
I hope you like it.
Oh, okay. Oriental peach infused cider.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, the ingredients from Taiwan.
Wow.
We bought it from Taiwan. It's from the very famous city. They always provide tea and spice and herbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is actual tea. These are tea leaves with.
Actually, it's a dry peach.
Okay, it's
dry
dried peach.
roselle.
Mm-hmm.
And dry rosemary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much,
Should be
Oscar.
fun.
No, definitely, I'm going to try this. I'm going to put this in tonight.
And let us know your thoughts.
So, how many days? This do they expect?
I think in Taiwan it takes about 5
5
days,
okay.
but probably faster here.
Right, because of the temperature.
Yeah,
I guess.
because
Right.
of the temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry. Let me just write that down because my memory is so
sure.
bad. Make sure I get that.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Or are you already on it?
I'm already on it.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, it's very kind of you to bring a gift. I appreciate it.
No, it's our pleasure. Cool. And do you find any rough edges while you're using Alchema?
I did not.
You did not?
I
Wow.
did not. Yeah. Well, again, I had the advantage because I was a little bit of a late starter. I was able to look because I had joined your Facebook group right
Mhm.
away. I haven't yet figured out your subscription group, but I'll join that. But because I was started late, I was able to look back at the different Facebook messages and the answers you or your team had posted and feel like I learned a lot. So people, for example, although I didn't try a fruit-based recipe, people talk about the advantage of using juice versus fresh fruit, making sure your stopper is in the right position, the importance of the sanitization. There was a lot of material that the users had shared that I was able to take advantage of. So I felt that, and of course your app instructions were clear, so I felt there really weren't any rough edges, but that if there was something, I would be able to get an answer.
Okay.
So I had that confidence.
Yeah.
Which was nice, and I wouldn't have to call and be on hold for an hour to speak with someone.
Yeah.
They were literally, and like I said, when the fermentation it dropped from 8 days to 4 days, I thought, oh, did I do something wrong? So I posted on your Facebook site, and someone came back within minutes and said, no, that's just because it's according to the ambient temperature.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry
That's
about.
good
So I
news.
thought, okay.
Faster.
So I can't say there were any rough edges at all. And then, of course, with the final product, well, I'd never drunk mead. I had no idea what it was supposed to taste like, but it tasted, tasted delicious. And I thought, well, I must have, done everything correctly.
You never tried mead?
I'd never tried mead before. I'd always wanted to.
Okay.
But it's not something commonly found. So I thought, and here's a way I can make something I wouldn't be able to try otherwise.
Cool.
And it tasted great. My wife loved it. Left me very eager to keep going with Alchema.
Cool. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So the main reason you decide to make mead for your first batch is because of the simplicity?
Because of the simplicity, and also because I had always wanted to try mead.
Okay.
I had tried cider, tried wine. I'd never tried mead, and I thought, well, this is interesting. It seems to be a very old drink, fermentation of honey.
Yeah.
Let's see what Alchema can do.
Cool.
I thought it would be a good starter. And frankly, there was something very satisfying about pouring all that honey in and mixing it with the water and the yeast, and it just felt good.
Cool.
So, and not disappointed at all.
Glad to hear that. Could you unpack a little bit more about what is the main reason entice you to actually get an Alchema?
I think just the idea that here was a group of very smart young people that had seen an opportunity to develop a product that didn't exist on the market, but that they felt a lot of people would respond well to and want to have, and to enjoy not just the product itself, but the entire experience of brewing something. So like we were talking earlier, my own personal thought had been, I would like to get into home brewing, but the barrier to entry seemed very high, both in terms of the expense and the learning curve to go with that. And with Alchema, it seems that you have solved both of those problems. I think the price point of Alchema was very attractive, especially considering all of the research and development certainly that had to go into it. But second, you were able to simplify the home brewing process to an unprecedented degree, which was just fascinating. So I had always thought, well, I'd have to have, a heat source and all these tubes snaking through my house and worrying about things blowing up. And here is this simple, beautifully designed space-age machine that would be a beautiful addition to any kitchen, where I can simply add an ingredient. It tells me how much. I don't even have to measure it separately. Follow simple instructions, and then I can control it with my phone. My phone tells me when it's done. What could be simpler? So I thought, this is really intriguing. I obviously did not know you or your team, but I had 100% faith that you would come up with a successful product. So I was very happy to be one of the backers. And again, along the way, you shared with us your journey, the various design changes you wanted to make, how you felt that would affect the final experience. And it became a pleasure to keep up with that, and that really increased our anticipation. And again, upon receiving the Alchema, I think all the work you put into it, I hope you're as satisfied with it as we, the users of Alchema, are.
Cool. We won't be here without your support. You're so nice. And you mentioned you made mead a month ago, right?
And I expect your ciders will be too, so I'm looking forward to getting some variety and hopefully coming up with my own recipes.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Cool. And
no, I was going to say that, and that's the other thing too, you have a lot of products, whether I suppose it could be like Alchema or something else, where you really have to follow certain instructions, there's no room for creativity. And it seems, I'm guessing for you, that was an important part of Alchema, was to give the users of Alchema something that would allow them to express their creativity.
Yeah, exactly. We have a feature to allow users to create their own and be able to publish their recipe to the community.
Right.
I think community is very valuable. Like, people help each other and share their thoughts, recipes, ingredients.
Certainly.
Yeah, it's the power of the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in a short time, what a great community and a very helpful community you've built.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you. Cool. No. Have you been in Taiwan?
That's on my bucket list. I've never been. I've been to the mainland and also Hong Kong and Singapore, but never managed to make it to Taiwan. But
for business?
Well, yeah, I used to work for Standard Chartered. Well, you know Standard Chartered Bank, right?
I don't know.
Standard Chartered?
Standard Chartered?
Yeah, I know they have some offices in Taipei and I think
really?
Other cities. Yeah. Anyway, so I worked for them, so I traveled quite a bit.
Cool. So you are always in the financial world.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So your background is
my background
financial.
is bank. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean I'm a lawyer, but I've always worked at banks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So. But yeah, I want
How do you
to
like
go to
so far?
Taiwan someday. It's all right. You know, it has its ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of what you do with banking is dependent upon what the government says you can do and what
Yeah.
you can't do, and as well as the wider market forces
Mm-hmm.
at work. So, you know, it has its challenges, but in general, I enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah, although, you know, especially being out here in the Bay Area, I think, why didn't I get into, like, you know, IT or entrepreneurship or, you know, venture capital or something? But,
Yeah.
you know.
Do
there's-
you always kind of browse the special ideas on Kickstarter?
You know, I wish I could remember how to tell you how I first became aware of Alchemy, because I don't remember. But it was probably because I had backed, you know, a couple of things on Kickstarter, and maybe it just came up or someone had recommended it on Facebook. I honestly don't recall.
Uh-huh.
I don't back a lot on Kickstarter, but there was just something about Alchema where I just, for some reason, had confidence that this was going to come through,
Uh-huh.
and it was going to be a great product. And
Nice.
of course, it was.
We're lucky.
Yeah. Well, you well exceeded your
Yeah.
goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought would be only to raise about like 100,000, but ended
Yeah.
up we raised more than 300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now,
So far, it's good.
beyond Kickstarter? What
Yeah.
do you do in terms of marketing and distribution and all of that?
Yeah, we are working on trying to close the deal with Costco
Okay.
in the States. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super excited. So I hope I could be able to close the deal.
Wow.
And right now we have the conversation with SoftBank.
Okay.
They're trying to bring us to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mostly talk to retail buyers, investors, and of course users.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm eager to know more about like how
Japan
users.
would be a very receptive market, I would think.
I'm sorry.
I think Japan would be a very receptive market,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could get into Costco and have it set up and do well, I don't know if you do demonstrations, but if they allow you to promote that, I mean, that would be huge.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
it would be good news. But if we do really kind of be able to sell products with Costco,
Yeah.
I have to deal with the financial part because I heard the payment terms. It's kind of like
They're very strict. I think they're
yeah,
very, they have a lot of
yeah,
leverage.
yeah, like 60 or 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to figure out like how to
So
deal with
that's
that.
on your production schedule then. If they
Yeah.
order a certain number of units, you have to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I have to,
A lot of headaches,
But-
I'm sure.
but that's good news.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Are there plans for upgrades?
Oh, mostly on software part.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to make the whole like instruction clear in terms of like wording,
Yeah.
graphic, and yeah, the overall experience, and try to help users to make their drinks better.
Okay.
Yeah, and provide more like controllability
Yeah.
for the users. Yeah, that's our goal.
Okay.
Cool.
So we'll just keep watching the app, and well, again, like I said, you've really been so good at keeping us up to date and
Yeah.
involved. It's great.
Cool.
So,
And do you back any other project on Kickstarter?
no.
No, we are the first one and the only
Well,
one.
no, I've backed mostly like artistic things. Nothing recent. I think Alchema was the last one
Okay.
I had
Cool.
done, and I like I said, I can't even remember how I first heard of your
Mhm.
product. But again, just thought this would be something that is really
Something cool.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, very cool, and it is
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, totally.
Right? It's amazing, and you know, another thing I like too is there's not a lot of parts, so you don't really have to worry about losing anything.
Exactly. Like almost
Right.
all in one.
Yeah,
You got everything.
even your stopper, right, is just hooked on.
Yeah.
With the little ring, so you don't have to worry about losing that. And what do you have? You have the only other thing is a funnel.
Yeah, the funnel.
That's it. So I just keep the funnel right there, and even that's kind of optional. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so it's like, well, there's really nothing to worry about losing.
Yeah.
So a lot of kitchen things, you may have a lot of different parts or
Mhm.
whatever. But the Alchema, and actually, you don't even need Alchema in the kitchen, right? You could just put it anywhere.
Yeah.
You have your
Yeah.
Wi-Fi coverage.
Almost
so-
portable.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
And it's very light.
Yeah. You could even power this on from your power bank.
Was that an issue with you in development? The lightness of the product, the materials.
What do you mean?
Well,
Oh, the lightness.
Yeah, because it's very light.
Yeah. We try to try to make it lighter, because
Okay.
if you use like glass or other material, if it's too heavy,
Right.
yeah. If the machine itself is too heavy, you can imagine if you feel like full of like cider, it'll be heavier.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
And of course
we
the
try to make
pitcher
it light.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Cool. And do you have any like thoughts want to share with me, or any questions you want to ask about me?
Well, what gave you the idea for Alchema?
Actually, my background is electronic engineering,
Mhm.
and I'm so into drink, but in a good way though.
Oh,
Yeah. Then one of my co-founder, his background is microbrewing in
Mhm.
Sheffield. He's graduated from Sheffield,
Mhm.
and he has 2 years experience in UK brewery.
Mm-hmm.
So we come with this idea and put it on Kickstarter and see how it goes. We
Okay.
really want to like bring these ideas to life.
Yeah.
And we ended up sort of like succeed.
Okay.
Yeah. So far the journey it's good. We enjoy it
Yeah.
and try to like take it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So besides your home market in the U.S., I mean, Kickstarter backers can come from around the world, right? So are you
Yeah, but
seeing a lot
90% of the backers come from the state.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
That's good. Do you have pretty good geographic penetration? I'd imagine there's a lot of us in California, probably, but
Like half from the California and half from New York.
okay.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure word of mouth was very strong.
Yeah. And do you have any recommendation if we try to bring Alchema to the mainstream market? Like, could you like picture which store we need to get in?
Well, as you said, Costco,
Yeah.
I think, would be huge.
Uh-huh.
Just because of the overwhelming market presence,
Mhm.
and people are accustomed to seeing new products
Mhm.
at Costco, especially new consumer products related to food. So, like if you look at the Ninja blenders, for
Mhm.
example,
Oh, yeah.
that I don't have the figures, but I imagine their exposure at Costco has benefited them tremendously. You know, I can just imagine someone demonstrating an Alchema
Mhm.
at Costco would just, you'd go through the roof.
Yeah.
But if I would think, and I'm not really a marketing person, but if you could get into any mass market store in the U.S., so not be limited to, liquor specialty stores, but I think Alchemist's strength is it does the one thing, you're brewing, but it really is like a general consumer product. It has
Mhm.
that attractiveness. So I think you can get beyond people that, like you and me, like to drink and are interested in that. But people who may never have thought of brewing their own alcoholic beverage may go to a Target or a Costco and look at this and say, wait a minute, all I need is, yeast and fruit
Yeah.
and, an Android or an iPhone, and I can do this. So I think, your market looks like converting people that aren't already into home brewing.
Yeah.
And again, with just the sheer attractiveness of your product, I would think people would go wild for it if they were exposed to it, but that's
Yeah.
that's just me.
And do you cook by yourself?
I enjoy cooking at home, but again, getting back to Alchema, part of the attractiveness is the simplicity. So, with 3 kids, I like to be able to get into the kitchen and prepare a meal, within a half an hour or so,
Uh-huh.
without getting into a lot of gadgets. Again, the Alchema, there are very few moving parts. You literally can take 5 minutes to start the brewing, check on your phone when you're ready, but it's basically just put it in and forget about it until you're done.
Yeah.
That's something that's a very attractive part of your product, and I think will appeal to a lot of people who, again, would like to get into something like this they haven't done before, but have lacked the time or the resources to do it, and you've solved those 2 problems.
Glad to hear that. And I'm kind of curious, do you have a sous vide machine? Like
I do. A sewing machine, actually, I do have a sewing machine. It never gets used.
Never get a chance
No.
to use it.
Yeah, I don't know how to. My wife had wanted a sewing machine, so we bought one, and I can't think of it's in the closet.
Okay. So Alchemized it's better than them. So
Well, Alchema is out, and like I said, it took me. I didn't use it right away, but I've started now, and I will definitely use it regularly.
yeah.
I think the key will be one of the keys will be and I think you've solved this, is to make extra pictures available, or maybe, and I don't know how this fits in, but even go into a line of containers or something. Because that's the thing. Once I think once people realize they can kind of keep the cycle going, it's nice. Because when I had made the meat, I thought, well, okay, well, I wasn't sure what to put it in, so I looked at the pitcher. It took a few days, drank it all, and now ready to go back.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of the Alchema is you could keep a cycle going if you had multiple pitchers. So
Yeah.
and
Cool.
Again, another sales point for that. And
Yeah.
then the yeast, and I noticed that a lot with the comments in the community, and I, not having the brewing background, didn't realize that the yeast you buy at your local grocery store is not suitable for fermentation of alcoholic beverages, like your bread machine yeast
Oh yeah.
or your baking yeast.
Yeah. They're kind of different.
They're different. So where I live, and of course, with the Kickstarter package, you gave the option for the yeast. So I took that, and I'm sure a lot of people did. Going forward, where I live, there are home brewing shops where you can go buy yeast.
Yeah.
But that may be an area where some people like me probably need some education or some assistance.
Okay.
And knowing, like, there were 3 kinds of yeast, and then looking at the community, they say, well, this kind is better to get this effect, or this type of beverage, and just, the learning curve with that will be something to.
Yeah.
But it's fun experimenting, because it's difficult to get. You still come out with something that's drinkable, and
Yeah.
you've enjoyed the process.
DIY is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. You've made it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what other drinks do you usually consume other than cider?
Oh, typically
Bean?
wine.
Typically wine.
Wine and beer, usually just soft drinks.
Okay.
I do enjoy cider as well, hard cider.
Do you usually drink it by yourself, or you?
Oh, usually at home.
Usually at home?
with the meal, or just
Okay.
in the summer. It's very common to in hot weather to enjoy a beer.
Oh yeah.
In the afternoon.
Mhm.
And again, with Alchema, you're able to make refreshing drinks that typically don't have a very high alcohol content. So you have something that's very refreshing and enjoyable for the whole family.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
And we're trying to build a referral program. What do you think? What is the main reason to trigger you really want to refer Alchema to your friends?
Oh, I think the novelty of it, and the fact you've opened up an area, home brewing, that was accessible to a small number of people to a huge number of people. And as a very happy user of Alchema, I would be glad to show my friends, maybe, hey, come over, I've made some mead. Or someone says, hey, what is that robot in your kitchen? Or I think it'd be very easy to refer people to, and I'd be very happy to, because as much joy as I've gotten out of it, I'm sure other people would as well, especially when they realize the ease of use. And again, the price point, I think, was very attractive as well. You're not spending $1,000. You have something where the price point is something I think most people would look at and say, this is a very fair price for what I'm getting.
Yeah. And what would you say to your friends if you try to refer Alchema to them?
Well, I would just let them. I would give them a sample of whatever I had brewed.
Okay.
And
It'd be easier.
maybe not tell them and say, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And they think, this is delicious. Where'd you get it? I said, well, I made it.
Mhm.
And they'd say, get out of here. You didn't make that.
Yeah.
And you could show them. I think that would be the most effective way, is just start out with friends and family that you have over, and let them try something. With this, that's exactly what I did with this. Let some of my family members try the meat I had made. Everyone loved it. They thought it was great. And I think people are probably, you get enough word of mouth, people will start looking on the store shelves to see, hey, where can we get one of these? This is fantastic.
Cool. Yeah.
I hope that's how it works for you. I'm certainly happy to. I wouldn't know where to refer people to. So, let me ask you, Oscar. If someone wants to, the Kickstarter period is passed. If someone today wants to buy an Alchema, they just come directly to your website and.
Yeah.
It's a direct sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we try to make it easier and broaden our distribution network.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's the main reason why we talk to
Okay.
Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably would talk to Williams-Sonoma startup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck with that. I mean, I would be very happy to go into Costco in a couple of months and see some Alchemas there.
Yeah. I will let you know
Okay.
if we really close the deal.
Yeah. Again, I'm no expert in packaging. I personally thought your packaging, your boxing was very attractive.
Yeah.
The machine itself, obviously you have put a great deal of thought into the look, the aesthetics of the machine, as well as the functionality, which as a consumer I certainly appreciate. I was thinking the other day, before meeting you, I was looking at my, sitting there staring at my Alchema, and I was thinking, you can have, people have all different kinds of kitchens, right? They
Mhm.
remodel to make very minimalist,
Mhm.
very modern. Some people like the old farmhouse style or whatever kind of country style they have. But you could put an Alchema anywhere, and it's going to look at home.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's not easy to come up with something like that, but you guys did it.
Yeah. We worked so hard on that.
Well, it shows.
Yeah.
That effort really shows. And I've got my Alchema right there. I've got a Starbucks coffee machine, and I just put my Alchema right there. And I actually was going to surprise my family, and I just opened it and set it there for a few days and waited to see if anyone noticed it. And of course, the kids right away are like, they think it's some kind of toy or something,
Yeah.
right? Because it looks like a robot,
Yeah.
almost, or however you want to look at it. And,
Like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like it's a
Transformers,
Star Wars
yeah.
kind of thing. So I kind of introduced it that way just to see what people would say, but. It just looks very at home, and it looks like it just belongs anywhere.
Yeah.
So, kudos to you, Oscar, and your team. I mean, you have a lot to be proud of. It's fantastic.
I'm
Can't wait
lucky
to
to
see
have-
what you invent next.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I'll let you know.
Yeah, please do.
I'm glad I have
Yeah.
happy customers like you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys are super supportive and very helpful.
You must have gotten, I would guess, the number of dissatisfied customers would be very, very low, if any.
Yeah,
I think-
like super low.
It's got to be. And,
Yeah.
how often does that happen?
Yeah.
For any
Right.
product, right?
Yeah.
But again, I'm very appreciative. And another thing, you did a lot of follow-up email. And in fact, I remember getting an email, I think in August, that said something like, hey, thank you for buying
Mhm.
Alchema, but we noticed you haven't used it yet. Is
Yeah.
there a reason you haven't used it? And I thought, I really need to start something. So I thought,
At the
yeah, I gotta
beginning,
get
we're
this
kind
out,
of
yeah.
afraid of that because we don't want to push people away.
Well, for me, I thought it was great, and I thought, wow, it's like, they've already got my money, and I've got
Mhm.
their product, but they still care.
Okay.
And I thought, they care that I haven't used the Alchema yet. And I thought, oh, that's really, what kind of company does that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, that's really something. So, I owe it to them to try it out. So I thought, okay, so that's when I started thinking, I got to do something. So I'll just make the simplest
Okay.
recipe and see how it
But
comes out.
luckily, it
And I
ended
was
up
going to
great.
write back. I was almost going to write back, and I thought, no, I'm not going to write back. But I really appreciated that email, and I think that was brilliant for you
Mhm.
guys to do that. And of course, along the way, and you really strike a balance. It's not intrusive, and it's like I will look at my emails in the morning, and if I see something from Alchema, I'm happy because I'm thinking, hey, what's Oscar saying next? What's Aaron saying next? What's
Yeah.
the news?
Mhm.
Because it's not like spam. It's like, oh, these are our friends, and they're telling us something we need to know.
Mhm.
So however you came up with that formula of emailing and your content and the frequency, I think it's perfect as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you.
Honestly. And it's never like an advertisement. It's always like, hey, we've got something to tell you, or here's something we think you should know, or
Mhm.
how are you doing? Tell us what you think. It's a really nice feeling you don't get with saying buying a toaster. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And in this day and age, I think, when a lot of our shopping is done online and
Mhm.
we don't have that personal connection with the retailer,
Yeah.
the fact you're able to combine the online experience and ease of online use
Mhm.
with that more old-fashioned
Yeah.
feeling of connection with the producer. I mean, you're kind of the producer and the retailer
Yeah.
for us, so that's very attractive, and I think is probably the reason you do have such a loyal community.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, we put so much effort on building the connection. We don't want to just sell the Okama and just don't care about them. Yeah, we do really care about what customers' thoughts about Elkma, and we really want to improve it. Yeah.
It's a very sincere. I think that sincerity really comes through, and like I said, honestly, when I get an email from Alchema, it's just like an email from a friend, and I want to open it and see what's going on and what's new. So
Cool.
really do appreciate that.
Yeah. Cool. I think
So,
that's it, right?
yep.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks for your time today.
You're welcome, Oscar. Very nice to meet you, Yo, as well. And hope you have a good trip. Or you have a lot of meetings lined up. And
Yeah.
Funding stuff. And
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it is fun to meet customers.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate. I know you're very busy.
Better than investors.
Well, it's kind of you. So,
Yeah.
honestly, for my part, I really appreciate your time. I was so. In fact, I told my wife. I said, "You're not going to believe it, but the CEO of the company that made this is going to meet me today."
It is fun, right?
Yeah, I said the CEO.
Come on.
And she was like, "Yeah, come on, what are you talking about?" I was like, "No, the CEO is going to come here and he's going to film me." And she didn't believe it, but
You're fun.
no, true story. So it's like, how
Cool.
often does that happen?
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, here we
Do you
are.
mind we take a picture?
Shoot away, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to clean up a little bit around here, but it's still kind of.
Seriously?
I don't know why.